Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
All right, Lubbock Sports Medicine, a great team of doctors. Y'all saw Kevin Crawford. I hope the kid that got hurt, Watts, what was his last name? Watts? Kevin was down there.
Coach McGuire said that he was moving and talking, and that they took him off on the board. He felt it was more precautionary.
Okay, good. Well, Kevin Crawford was down there. He's with Lubbock Sports Medicine, one of the great doctors there. Go to LubbockSportsMed.com and check them out. You'll be glad that you did. They can take care of you as well, whatever it may be. All right, well, we're honored to have in the studio today the directors of the Texas Tech Going Band from Raiderland, and we've really been going.
We have.
Y'all have been going,
yes,
haven't
sir.
you?
Yes, sir.
Y'all have met the name. And Joel Pagan, who's been here before, and Eric Allen. Now, are y'all the same? I mean, are you the marching band director, and you're the second, and you're the...
Well, so I'm the director of the Going Band, director of the athletic bands, but Dr. Allen here, he's been with us co-directing for a while. He even stepped in for 1 year, and was the interim director for a time there. So, yeah, we share our responsibilities out there together. So we're to blame for everything.
Well,
yes, sir.
Y'all made us proud, I'll tell you that. I can't believe you. Y'all know people everywhere were talking about it.
It was a really, really great trip, and even just on social media, we were overwhelmed by the response from the Red Raider Nation, for sure.
Now hold it close. Brendan's saying.
Hey, Dad, I was going to tell you, we're the Going Band from Raiderland because we were the very first college football team to go to an away game. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
that's
right.
right.
A little knowledge on them.
That's right.
Yeah, the very first one. But the whole thing, though, it was more than just marching in the parade. There was a lot more to it. The Today Show, y'all were marching on the set.
We were, and actually, Dr. Allen was a big part of that, putting that together.
Do we need to call you Dr. Allen?
You do not. You can call me Eric, please.
Sorry. Used to the formality.
I hear you.
on the clock. But anyway, yeah, we had a great time. The Today Show was gracious enough to invite us on, and we were a part of just about every segment they did that morning, starting with a takeover. So our students marched through the studio and played in the plaza, and just really had a great opportunity there. It was great exposure for Tech, and we just had a great time doing it.
Well, y'all did it. Y'all did us proud. You really did. And did you see many Red Raiders up there?
Oh my goodness, we were overwhelmed by the response, and that's one thing that really stands out throughout the parade route. There was not a block in that 2.5 mile parade where we did not see double T's or guns up throughout. I mean, they were there in the thousands, and we kid you not, it was overwhelming. It was really, really special to see.
That's cool.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, it was.
And
amazing.
the two of y'all march, or y'all like riding a little motorcycle behind them or something?
Oh no, we walked it in our boots.
And our boots and hats.
That's right.
We brought Texas to New York. It was incredible.
Did you have cowboy hats on?
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, they knew who we were by the time that parade was over with.
That's cool.
One of the things they did was, of course, the president's office and Blaine Beal, the Centennial Director, set up all kinds of events for the Red Raider Nation up there. One of the most exciting things, along with the Today Show and the parade, was the pep rally in Times Square. And for about an hour, we had all the screens in Times Square with the double T and thousands upon thousands of Red Raiders filling Times Square. It looked like New Year's Eve.
I saw that. It was amazing.
It was really exciting.
Well, tell us. This is y'all have 400 plus.
417 students.
And how many other support people?
Oh gosh, so with our TAs and everybody else, I mean, we had a travel party of about 453. And yeah, so
about
453, give or take, one or two.
To round the number.
To round it off. Yeah, and we filled an entire 747 coming over that was chartered over there for us to get out there.
You had your own plane.
We had our own plane. We did. I mean, we traveled in style.
How fun is that?
It was, I tell you. I mean, and you talk to any other groups that do this, you just don't see that kind of support, across the nation. So we were blessed to be at Texas Tech and to have that support behind with the president's office.
I didn't know they held that many.
Yeah, well, we found out they did. Yeah, and it even took off.
bunch.
There's at least one that does.
Yeah.
It's the only one I've ever seen. But
It was a big plane.
It was.
But did you pack all the equipment on the plane, or did it bust up?
Well, we ended up putting everything on that aircraft,
Wow.
and that's something that we thought about taking the semi, but just looking at the amount of time it was going to take them to drive over to New York City and our timetable, we had to have everything with us. So it was a logistical challenge for sure, but we made it happen.
Yeah, y'all got the big truck that Lubbock Truck Sales provides.
That's
the
right.
Going band truck.
That's right. Now we did use that to transport all of our equipment over to the airstrip, and then we took all that off and loaded it all up on the aircraft.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Did you have to go through a TSA?
We did. We had to go through all that. Now, luckily, because the way it was chartered, we did all of that actually over at the sub there at Texas Tech. They screened all the students, put them on a bus, and then we were able to get right on the aircraft. So so it was efficient.
That was much better.
Absolutely.
All that equipment. I can't even believe that happened.
oh yeah,
Yeah. We're still. I mean, I'm having to pinch myself because 24 hours ago we were in Times Square. And we had what felt like one really long day. We got there and we took little naps in between. And then we woke up and here we are. So
Where did y'all stay?
We stayed over at the Marriott Marquis right on Times Square. I mean, when you looked out the window, you could see Duffy Square. You can see all the billboards and the lights.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a really, really cool experience with those kids.
How many does that hotel hold?
Well, at least 453.
they have over
y'all had to fill it up.
1900 rooms in that hotel.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so, but they knew our presence.
Yeah, I bet
Especially
they
when
did.
we all showed up at once and tried to get in the elevator.
That was a problem, wasn't it?
We worked it out.
Yeah.
It was fine. But man, what a fantastic trip, and the representation we had, not just for Texas Tech, but Lubbock and the state of Texas. I mean, we were the only band that represented the state of Texas at that Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade.
Oh, I saw a lot of high school. Well, not a lot, but several high school.
Yeah,
bands.
there were about 12 bands in total if you count the NYPD band that marches every year and the Macy's Great American Band.
What about the director's band? Were y'all in that? Did y'all?
We were not. That's something that they've been doing for a while now, but they had about over 400 band directors from across the country. In fact, a lot of my friends, even from college, who are directors now, were in that band. So there was a lot of Facebook
bunch of
messaging.
people.
Yeah. So that was really neat to see that.
Yeah.
Well, is that something you'd want to do? They do that every year, don't they?
Oh, they do, and the answer is no. I think I'm all right. I think I'm okay.
we
Just
liked
to
our
stand
view.
there.
We liked our view better
That's
this
right.
year.
You're not going back next year to be in the director's band?
I think we'll pass on that. I mean, walking the 2.5 mile, what we did with them was good enough. But yeah, and I guess I'd have to find my instrument and learn how to play it all over again.
What did you play?
I was a trumpet player.
Oh, well,
Yeah, was being the operative word.
you could play today.
Oh, I'm not sure you'd want to hear it, but sure, I could. Yeah.
Eric, what did you play?
I was a trumpet player too. So
Oh.
yeah, that's right. So
Did your drum majors go to? They don't play instruments, do they?
They do play instruments in other ensembles, but in terms of their role with the Going Band, they're just there. They conduct. They march in the front of the band, so they're kind of the head of our visual team, so to speak. But they were part of that for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Who are they? What are their names? Are they important?
Oh, absolutely. Kaylee Smith, Trey Pyle, who've done a fantastic job leading the band this year.
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's also important. When we think about what goes into this, the president's office, Blaine Beal's office, all those people that went to help make this happen. But our alumni association, both Texas Tech and the Going Band Association, who are just dedicated to supporting all that we do. One of the things that was really exciting about it too is they said, the great thing about a pep rally in Times Square with this, I mean, nothing's contingent on a win or a loss. It was just celebrating Texas Tech and 100 years of just outstanding accomplishments and achievements, and we were just thrilled to be a part of it. But I do want to just reiterate what it was like to turn down 7th Avenue and what seemed like a road to anywhere, and seeing nothing but millions of people along the side, and people that had never heard of Texas Tech had their guns up. They were loving it, and our kids were rocking. It was awesome.
Well, in this world we live in today, did guns up go over well up there, or was it, hey, come on now?
Well, I'll tell you what. There was a little instance at when we were at the Today Show where one of the producers came up to us and said, "Hey, your mascot Red, right? Raider Red." I was like, "Yeah, it's Raider Red."
Yeah.
any chance he could leave his gun behind? I was like, yeah, we can make that happen. So they were a little sensitive about that on screen, but other than that,
we just allow our criminals to carry
That's
guns.
right. That's right. That's right.
Because Raider Red often uses his gun to shoot at people.
Yes, he does.
That's right. That's right. So there was that, but we're good. We're fine. We're fine.
No, they were great. They we all the Today Show hosts were saying wreck 'em, and they were just so excited and greeting the kids and
That's
and
cool.
just making us all feel welcome.
Who was the most famous person you met on this trip?
Oh gosh. Well, we saw quite a few. I mean, I saw at one point while we were waiting for the parade, this golf cart pulled up next to me, and Jimmy Fallon popped out. You know, I looked at him, he looked at me. That was it. And then he walked away. But
He didn't want your autograph?
apparently not.
Okay.
I'll say too, Keenan Thompson from SNL from Saturday
Yeah.
Night Live passed by us, and he put his guns up with us, and I got a picture of him, so that was all over
That's
social
good.
media too.
Did
So
y'all hang out with Cher? She was there.
Yeah, Cher was there. She didn't. She just participated in the final,
She
so we
did.
never saw her. But we saw her on video.
She's 77. Just like Dolly Parton, who was on the Cowboys deal, who we'll talk about later.
Oh,
Yeah, she wasn't just on the Cowboys deal. She was in a Cowboys cheerleading
Which is
uniform.
amazing.
We'll talk about that
77.
later.
Yeah.
But Cher's 77.
She
That's
is.
right.
Yeah. She
And I'm
looks. Yeah, she looks great. Sounds great too.
Yeah, she still can sing. Are
Absolutely.
they really singing? I wondered this while I'm watching them, or is that lip syncing?
Yeah, I think. I mean, most people who have done these parades know that all these performers they really are lip syncing to that, and that's something that's really special. All the bands that you see obviously are doing this on live TV.
Yeah.
You get one shot to do that, and the rehearsal prior to that, most people don't realize this. Those bands we rehearsed at 4 a.m. that morning. That morning at 4 a.m. So what you saw,
Oh, my
we
gosh.
did. It was a 10-minute rehearsal in that space so that the cameras kind of track what we're doing. And then after that, we were off. The next time we did that was live on TV.
So you did it at 4. It didn't take that long to go through it, I guess, because it was
Right.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
What'd you do then? Go back to the hotel?
We jumped on a bus and had breakfast at Margaritaville at about 5 a.m.
5 a.m.
That's right.
5 o'clock somewhere.
That's
Right.
it.
Oh,
That's
it was.
it.
And
go.
it was 5 o'clock, and we had a quick breakfast. Then we took, of course, getting around New York City on the morning of Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Was a challenge. So it took a little bit to get over to Central Park, which is where we staged, and then off we were.
Well, that brings a question to my mind is, how did you go to the very end of the parade route? Is there a way just for folks like y'all?
Yeah, there is. I mean, if for those who are familiar with New York City, 77th Street and Central Park West is where the parade essentially lines up all the floats. And then you've got all the balloons that are on the side streets that get fed in. And then from the start of the parade, they were just kind of feeding in floats and balloons and bands. So that all originates around 77th Street, comes down Central Park West and go around Columbus Circle, then turn down 6th Avenue to finish the rest of the parade route until we get down to 34th Street. So, yeah, 2.5 miles of just, a whole lots of fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How they put all that together, organizing that.
Absolutely. And the other part is this is all done entirely by Macy's employees. That's another part that most people don't realize. Every band is assigned to what they call a band captain who's a Macy's employee, and ours was the manager for the flagship Macy's store on 34th Street. And she specifically requested us. She's originally from Houston. And she told people, I will have the going band from Redland. I want to be with this group. So it was really neat to have that. Yeah.
Y'all were a big deal.
Absolutely.
I don't even know how you put it all together. I mean, it's huge. It is absolutely. Was there any of those balloons that really impressed you the most, or was there?
Well, we got to see a lot of those.
Seemed like they were lower this year. It seemed like they were right above the deal. I thought they were up higher.
They normally are, but the wind, it was pretty stiff wind that day, and so they have to regulate the height of those balloons, and so just for safety.
Yeah, we had a few of those balloons that had actually popped certain parts of their appendages. Like we had a duck in front of us, and it popped a wing, and so it was a little lower. I think Snoopy's hat had popped at one point, so yeah, a little interesting. Some incidents there with the balloons, but
you don't see that on TV.
No, you do not. No, you do not.
No, you don't.
One other thing I want to mention while we have a chance is just our bandwagon drivers and our loading crew, and we've got a team of students that traveled with that are part of the band that go above and beyond. And Debbie Holt, our unit coordinator, our administrative assistant, they've just done an outstanding job in helping prepare this as well, and going just above and beyond an infrastructure of students that just really are dedicated to the band and to Texas Tech.
Yeah. Well, it took a lot of people to put this together.
It did.
It wasn't just you two guys, was it?
Well, we'd like to think so, but no, it was. And Eric brings up a great point, because a lot of people don't realize, you think that there's probably this massive infrastructure that takes care of us, but it's really our students. We have a student leadership core that takes care of a lot of what we do. So without them, we just couldn't function.
All right. Visiting with Joel Pagan and Eric Allen, who are the directors of the Going Band from Raiderland, and just got back. Got back what time?
Oh,
Gosh, it was last night.
Was that last night?
It was.
Was that y'all have just been going?
Yeah, I think we arrived just about 9:00 back at the School of Music on campus.
And y'all didn't get to go to the football game, and it was y'all's fault. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
They're counting their blessings.
I know it. Thank goodness we didn't have to go.
Because they can't get up and leave at half.
No.
They got to sit through the whole thing.
Well, you could just march off and not come back.
Yeah, halftime we march out the back door and keep on going.
They've got our support 100%.
Yeah, I know. Well, y'all are big, important, and I think a lot of people don't know all that Coach McGuire does. Tell it just a little bit what he's done with the Going Band from Raiderland, because it's pretty cool.
Well, yeah, he's been a great support. Even from the very beginning, and he invites us out each year to have the students play for them. And so that's actually been really, really great. We do pep rallies, just for those students, as for the football team when they're practicing there during the preseason. He's even given us shout outs that when we went over to Baylor, we were a big part of that game, and he was just really nice to go out and just say, hey, I just want to take a moment to thank the Going Band for all their support, because it is. That's what we're there for. We're there to support the football team. And we're proud to do that for them.
You bet. Well, y'all do a great job. Y'all are the highlight for so many of our fans. They make sure they're in the stadium. It's been a little different this year. We'll talk about that. We're about to go to a break, but it's been different this year with the construction that's going on. Y'all can't make your normal fanfare entrance.
That's right.
From the tunnels like you always do. But,
that's right. No, but we make it work. We make it work.
Hey, do y'all watch tape after a game and you say, Billy Bob, see how you're a little out of line there?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
That's a good answer. Billy Bob needs to get his butt up there. And get
do you have a problem? You have a problem, child, don't you? It seems like we're calling him out every game.
That's it.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
For some reason, my log that we've worked off of for a long time is not matching up with what we're playing today, because we did a Senior Benefit Solutions of West Texas in this a recorded spot.
Okay.
And this is
the double whammy.
In my live spot here, but it's Laurie Kasler and Tanya Blackburn. And that open window for Medicare is through December the 7th. If you want to make changes or additions, or you need to get with these two people. They're here in Lubbock, and they can help you. They will give you knowledge that you don't have and that you didn't know you needed. They know what to do. Yeah. They can help prepare you. Senior Benefit Solutions of West Texas, Laurie Kasler and Tanya Blackburn, they are the pros with Medicare, getting you the right Medicare coverage. All righty.
All right.
That was fun. Joel Pagan and Eric Allen, they did a great job.
Pleasant people.
Yeah,
and,
pleasant.
And it was
they weren't rude.
And it was sort of an upper, on sort of a downer morning. Yeah. They were an upper.
They really were. They got energy and excitement, and
all right,
they're great.
Are you okay with me reading text?
I thought we were calling Tom Stone.
At 10:00? Oh, we're calling Tom Stone.
Okay. He's already on it.
I forgot him.
Yeah, but that's not good.
10:45, I go, hey, we forgot Tom Stone.
Yeah.
Like that day I forgot Coach Knight.
Mm-hmm.
And got a good cussing out for it.
No, Tom wouldn't do that, but Coach Knight would.
Not only
he
would.
Did.
Not only would.
He did it.
He did. All right, we'll read a lot of the text when we come back. I think I'm going to limit it to one text per person. Because otherwise you get one guy 10 times and people think, well, everybody's up in arms. Well, yeah. It's a handful.
All right, we got Coach Tom Stone of the Big 12 champion Texas Tech soccer team.
And darn near undefeated.
Unbelievable. What a year, Coach. We're so proud for you.
Well, thanks, guys. I know you've been with us since day one, so it was nice to raise that trophy in Lubbock, no question.
No, it really was. It was. It's amazing what y'all accomplished this year, and had a great run. And, of course, you run into a lot of guys said the UCLA of men's basketball in soccer, North Carolina. They could be the North Carolina of men's basketball, but just a program that's won a lot of championships through the year here at home. But 1-0 was the final in that match.
Yeah, and
excuse me.
Looking back on it, obviously it's easier to reflect positively and about the day. It was literally historic in our ability to host that Sweet 16 game. We had a record crowd of almost 3,000 people. I'm not sure I should have said that because the fire department wasn't too happy. But the
whoa! Before you leave that, Coach, what could possibly burn down
outside?
out there?
Nothing, just our new field. Just our brand new field.
Yeah.
But you could get away. You wouldn't have to burn up
that
with
wouldn't
it.
be in danger.
Guys, the firemen are not just about fires. They're health and safety of all humans.
Is that it? Is that what it is?
Okay, you get COVID if there with that many people.
Well, not in Lubbock, hopefully, but
no,
we got that barrier. So it was a gorgeous day. The field was great. The girls played awesome. We had 3 phenomenal chances. They probably had 5, and they scored one of them. And they've had an easy time of it up until they ran into the Red Raiders, and getting that game in Lubbock, Texas was really amazing. So we're not happy afterwards, and it took us a couple days to get past it. I think we had a team that certainly could have gone to Provo and won the Elite Eight game, but didn't get that chance, and it's bittersweet on that end. But when you look back, and you said it, undefeated season, and the goalkeeper of the year, and the defender of the year, and the rookie of the year, and
coach of the year.
Well, coach of the year. Were you coach of the year?
We did, yes. We did.
I knew it.
Yeah. Hey, did North Carolina go out to Provo and beat BYU?
You guys aren't going to believe this, but because I'm sure you didn't stay up for it last night, but they were beating BYU 3-0 with about 30 minutes left to go in the game. It was snowing sideways in Provo, and Carolina kind of outthought themselves and brought their 7 subs on like they do, and did their line change, and then they brought their starters back out who were frozen by then, and believe it or not, before overtime, BYU scored 4 goals and snatched it away from Carolina.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my gosh.
But BYU's really good. Really good.
They are good. And, I like their coach a lot, so she won't be offended, not that she's listening to this show, but if she ever
what are you
hears
talking about?
She is listening.
She's in Provo. They only let them listen to certain things up there. But
That's right.
That was all in good humor. They, they didn't win our league. They didn't win our tournament, but they're in the College Cup. And I think that says a lot about BYU. I think it says a lot about the new Big 12.
Yeah.
It says a lot about how competitive the whole soccer league is. And, we need more teams in the College Cup, which is our version of the Final Four. So, although disappointed wasn't us, we're excited that a Big 12 team is representing us in the College Cup.
Where is the College Cup?
It's in Cary, North Carolina.
Yeah, they need to have it further south.
Yeah, sometimes it's really great there this weekend, and sometimes it's freezing. And they don't always play it there, but it's the majority of championships have been there. They sell out. They got so many young soccer players in that area. Unfortunately, it becomes a home game for North Carolina.
Well, not this year, it doesn't.
Not this year.
That's right.
But do you think you ought to have to go play in the snow?
Yeah, I mean, that's an outdoor sport.
Okay, it's an outdoor sport.
My gosh.
Luck of the draw.
Yeah, I was out there for the Princeton match, and I will tell you, Princeton is good.
Yeah.
I was impressed with them, and we beat them in penalty kicks 4-3. But you're right. The field seems too big to me, Coach, or something.
I knew it.
I couldn't see to the other end.
Hey, I didn't say it,
That's
Coach.
called age.
That was David.
That's probably what it was. Age. I need my binoculars to be able to see to the other end. But it was so fun, and the atmosphere out there was just phenomenal. When I tried to I parked over at UMC and walked over to get to the stadium and John Walker Complex, and I just was amazed at what I saw. I was so proud of Lubbock and the way we supported, and proud of y'all and the way y'all competed. It was just a fun deal.
Well, I appreciate you saying all that, and I think that is the memory of that night. I mean, broke our record again that night. Nowhere to sit. The crowd was amazing. Nobody left. Game went late, and you're right. Lubbock came out, and the community and the soccer people and the students. I think we had 800 students, which was a record also. So it was just amazing. When we can put on – here's the thing. You bring all these schools, Alabama, North Carolina, Princeton, you bring all these schools to Lubbock. Odds are they haven't been here before. Their athletic directors are here. All their official people are here because it's a big deal. And we just blew them away. I mean, they toured the Womble. They saw Jones. They see all our football plans. They see our soccer facility. I mean, the Alabama people stuck around until their plane left the next day, touring all of our soccer facilities because they're about to do a redo. It just gives us a chance to say to everybody who's not from around here, look at what's going on here. And it was really amazing, the statement. Mike Ryan and his crew and Steve Maines, they just put on an unbelievable show. And then fortunately, that night, the girls played fantastic and, won a very dramatic game in penalty kicks. But when you got the best goalkeeper in the country, that does tend to happen.
Well, she is so good. She really is. Madison, right?
Yes, Madison White.
Call her Maddie. She's tall.
I always thought, how silly do you feel when you go diving to your left and they kick the ball over to the right? You got to feel a little silly while you're in midair.
You got to guess.
Whoa.
You got to guess, don't you?
And then she blocked the main one with her leg.
Yeah,
which was great.
Yep.
She's something else. She
All
really
right.
is.
Cary, North Carolina's the championship, and it's there quite a bit. Now, how many do they draw? Because we drew 3,000. Is this something that we could host in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. The College Cup, you mean? Or
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
playoff?
College Cup.
College Cup.
We can. Most colleges don't get home games on their campus for the College Cup. It's more of an area. So I think Dallas would be the closest, which would be like a home game for us or TCU or Baylor, any of those teams. So Dallas would be a great place to host it, but there's not a grass stadium there that can host it besides the pro team, and they got rules about hosting college games while their season's going on, unfortunately.
Okay.
Well, we wanted to have it here at home, but we sure showed we support. I can tell you, we need more stands. We need more.
All right, how many will be at that deal in Cary? Will it be like 8,000?
I think it holds 10, and they usually do sell it out. So it's interesting that you said not this year when you're talking about North Carolina, because they're a big reason that a lot of times they do sell out. And you've got Clemson plays tomorrow or today. If they win, they'll travel well. BYU travels well. I mean, people just come out of the woodwork. So BYU will have people there. And Stanford probably will not have a crowd, and Florida State will have a big crowd. And I know you're not asking me, but Florida State is the favorite. They look like a little miniature pro team out there, and I think they're going to win.
What's the key, Coach? That I noticed that, and when I watched the Princeton match, that they had a couple of girls that were just so fast. Is speed? I know you need to have good footwork and all that stuff, but speed's a big deal, isn't it, in soccer?
Yeah, if you had to choose like all speed or all skill, you would definitely need to pick all speed, because that's the great equalizer. And as you go up in levels of games, like, this is a big game, these are 2 top 10 teams, or this is a Sweet 16 game or whatever, the athleticism is a given. Everybody can run. I mean, look at Kylie Barr on our team, Elise Anderson, and Macy Blackburn, who unfortunately was hurt. These are flyers. But to make it and win at those levels, you have to have those same people have to be skillful, and you have to have sprinkled in players like Sam Courtwright and others that are extremely skillful, Molly Skrasinski, Peyton Parsons. I mean, these kids make it all work. If you have just one, you won't win it. But if you have a combination of the two, you got a great chance. But without the speed, you're just going to get run off the field. So fortunately, we got some even more speed coming next year. We have one kid in particular that might be the fastest kid on our team that's coming in next year. So we got to keep that. We got to keep that going.
All right. You said Florida State looked like a miniature pro team. Is NIL money important in soccer?
Speaking of pros, no, it is. It is. It's a factor. It's happening. But when I say that, it's because their team is very international based. There's a lot of kids that I think they had several that played in the Women's World Cup last year on various national teams, Colombian national team or French or German. I don't know where they're all from, but they have several national team players who are waiting to be professionals, and they want to come to college for a year or two to hone their skills and take advantage of all the technology and everything that we do with our athletes here. So it's always been a destination for those players, and it's one of the reasons, besides good coaching, that they have done real well through the years.
All right, soccer ball's pretty hard for those that hadn't hit one or headed one. All right, is there a problem with concussions and it's like a boxer? You get hit enough times that you get a little loopy. Is there a problem with that in soccer with all the headers?
I'm going to give the disclaimer that I'm not a doctor, but the majority of the concussions that I've seen in 16 years, 17 years at Texas Tech have all come from players hitting each other in the head or hitting the ground. I have not experienced one that happened. Actually, that's not true. We had one that occurred when inadvertently someone got hit in the side of the head with a shot. Someone was shooting, and it hit her in the side of the face. And, she didn't see it coming, so there was no protection or preparation. That's the only one I've seen, but the ball hit her in the face. If you hit it right in your forehead and your technique is right, and our strength teams, strengthens all those muscles around their neck and stuff, it's really limited in terms of the ball causing the problem. But hitting each other, that'll do it, and hitting the ground, that'll do it too.
Do any kids wear helmets? Little whatever you call them, like the old football helmets. The old
people would make fun of you.
You would.
It'd make
little rodeo guys didn't used to wear helmets.
They wear them with bull
now.
riding. Yeah, that's exactly right. I was amazed at how many shots are used by the head. By the head. It's phenomenal how many times they use their head.
It's a weapon. You watch Hannah Anderson head the ball. It's a thing of beauty. She's flying through the air. She's got hang time, and she's a center back for us and scored 5 goals and 4 with her head. So, it's a big part of the game. And some teams, they want to kick it in the air the whole game. But as you probably noticed with us in Princeton, we wanted the ball on the ground as much as we could. That's why the game was so even, because they're a passing team and we're a passing team. And that creates a lot of transitional moments and a lot of fast break action. And that game was awesome. They were good. They were better in person than they were on video. I will say that.
They were really good, I thought. I was impressed with them.
Well, at halftime, I'm sitting there going, this is a lot better team than I was thinking. And I think they're better than a lot of the teams that we played during the course of the year as far as moving the ball around and seeming to have plays and things.
Yeah, they would have done really well in the Big 12. I think they would have been top 4 for sure. The only question for those teams when they Ivy League teams is could they take that pounding every week when they come into a top league, play their best.
What about
they don't have to do that?
What about the referees? I noticed in that match that I was at that you got kind of exercised a couple of times. In fact, one of the plays happened right in front of you, and evidently the referee missed it, didn't he?
Yeah, of course, right? I'm a referee on the side. No, just like all coaches, in those big moments too, every little thing that goes for you can really help you. And if you're winning 5-0, it doesn't matter. But that game was so tight. Yeah, I remember that. We had a lot of momentum at that moment, and I happened to have one of the very few times the coach actually did have a better view than the ref because she was facing me, and they kicked it out of bounds, and he gave them the throw in, which in general doesn't sound like that big a deal, but we had a lot of momentum in that moment. If we picked it up and threw it, I felt like we could keep the pressure on them. But that ref was great. You guys would love this. He comes over and he goes, "We good?" I said, "Well, that girl kicked it out of bounds." He goes, "No, are we good? Like, are we going to keep this up? Are we fine?" And I said, I know what he's asking. Like, are you going to shut up or not? And I said, "Yes, sir, we are." He goes, "Great." And he shook my hand and ran off.
That seemed like
I saw him shake your hand. I saw him shake your hand.
Yeah, all right. It was great.
Now, you got a referee that's like a Barney Fife. He pulls his little bullet out. Does a coach get a yellow card? Do you ever get a yellow card, or is that strictly for the players?
No, the coaches can get yellows, and then if you get another one or they come back over to talk to you again, they're going to throw you out. So a yellow is as far as.
All right, where do you have to go? Have you ever been thrown out?
Yeah, I got thrown out of Arizona one time in my 17 years have I been told to leave. But yeah,
where did you have to go?
Locker room.
No, we were at Arizona, so our bus was parked behind the stadium, and it was parked on the hill, and I could see the game from the bus. So I
did you honk the horn?
So I'm watching. The game is like 30 seconds behind, and the bus door opens while I'm watching the game, and my captain gets on the bus. I go, "What are you doing here?" She goes, "Watch another 10 seconds, coach. I just got kicked out." She came and sat down next to me, and we won that game 2-1. It was crazy.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's great. Coach, we're about to go to break. We appreciate you. Right.
We're proud of you, too, buddy. Y'all are doing a great job. Red Raider soccer.
Yes, sir.
Big
Thank
time.
You.
All right.
You bet. Have a good rest of your holiday.
Tom Stone, the head coach. He's done a tremendous
Coach of the year,
job.
Tom Stone.
Big 12 champions, Red Raiders, regular season champions. That says something.
Yeah, it darn sure does.
And undefeated.
And I guess the only 2 games they lost were 1-0.
Yeah, they were. They lost to Texas 1-0 and North Carolina 1-0.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
J&W Services and Inco Distributors in Midland, Texas. We appreciate them so much. They are a big reason that we're on in Midland, Odessa. in the Permian Basin, and Brent Beck and Scott Blakely and Cade Walton, the whole team down there. They got the parts. They can get the parts. They can keep you up and going. They got a whole bunch of companies all in this one company, J&W Services, Linco Distributors, and they can keep you running in the oil and gas industry in Midland and Odessa and the Permian Basin. So make them a part of your team, plus they're Red Raiders, and that's for sure. And Mighty Wash all over the Permian Basin, locally owned right here in Lubbock, Texas. And it's a big-time deal, and we got lots of them here in Lubbock, and their people are what make the difference at Mighty Wash. That's the Texas Tech car wash. All right, I did track down Ron Reeves, so he's going to be on.
All right, here's a texter that says, this show.
Yes.
This show, he's calling us out. This show said Matt Wells was the guy, and they believed he was who we needed a few years ago, too.
I agree.
I thought Matt, and I still think Matt will be a good coach somewhere.
And
he was a good coach at
You
Utah
talk about
State.
the guy that didn't get a chance during COVID.
Yeah.
Comes in after Kingsbury, the coverage bear, and he didn't get a chance.
No, he didn't. And I don't disagree with Kirby a lot, and I think Kirby was sort of backed into a corner because you got to sell tickets.
Yeah.
Oh, but you're right. We did say that, and I believed it.
We did say it.
I believe Joey's that same type of person, maybe a better coach.
I
we'll
agree.
see.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, we got Ron Reeves on the line here with us, former Texas Tech quarterback, former Monterey quarterback, and
former Hutchinson
Ranger quarterback and linebacker. He was most people say he was a better linebacker than he was quarterback. That's really saying something because he was a great quarterback.
Yeah.
What's saying something is that you guys got to go back to all of those things that I was for anybody to even know who the heck I am. So that's
he's nobody today.
It's not
he's
like
one
you
of the
could
great
just say,
number
hey,
12.
it's Ron Reeves. He's on the phone with us.
Yeah. Just Ron Reeves, and they're going, who?
Yeah.
Oh, Ron.
So
Ron
Reeves, he knows Thetford and Ashby.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's why we know him.
And they both love him dearly.
We do.
Yeah.
Hey, what was your last year at Tech? What was your last season?
81.
81, yeah. 81.
All right, here's why we called you. we're sort of sadistic. I always, and I've told Ron this, so I'm not telling y'all something I hadn't told Ron, that the beating he took against the University of Texas, I'd only seen one other beating like it, and that was Tex Cobb against Larry Holmes. And how many times were you sacked?
Actually, it was a Southwest Conference record, 13 sacks in one game, but it was only 11 of them were me. So they finally had enough empathy for me to get me out of there and put Richie Etheridge in. He got the last two.
What was the final score of the game?
I don't remember the score, to be honest with you.
You don't remember
it wasn't
anything?
as bad. It was not as bad as yesterday's score. Maybe half that bad.
That bad.
Yeah, but
we did have. I do remember specifically on that game that we were way beaten. I don't remember it was 30 something to not very much, maybe 14 or something. And on the very, very last minute of the game, Richie Etheridge threw a deep ball into the end zone. I think Brian Williamson caught it for a touchdown. And there was about 5 or 6 guys on our sideline that were going nuts like we had just won the game. And I found out soon thereafter that they had a little juice on the game because the point spread was so big.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and that covered the spread. So, anyway.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I can't give you any names. I was not one of them because I thought we were going to win every game all the way to the end. But had a few disappointments along the way.
Yep, did
that game hurt Ron? I remember listening because I was listening on the radio, and then after was like, he's getting up.
Yeah. Well, honestly, that whole year, I had hurt my knee early in the year.
Yeah.
And basically had it taped up like a cast and played, and I was just a sitting duck back there for people that were better than us on the line of scrimmage, which was everybody. And we had a rough year. It was a long one. Don't look up our record because it is the worst one ever at Texas Tech.
Oh, wow.
That year.
Well, they should have fired everybody.
9-1.
Should have fired everybody and should have
Well, let's talk about that win.
exiled you.
Who did y'all beat?
Who'd y'all beat?
Probably New Mexico. Or UTEP. It might have been UTEP. I don't know. I will tell you this though. This is honest the truth. 1-9-1 in 7 of those 9 losses, we were tied or ahead in the fourth quarter.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like we were getting obliterated by everybody, but the thing was that was Jerry Moore's first year. He came in, he wanted to redshirt everybody. He tried to redshirt me and Buford and Tate Randall and, you know, all the guys that were, you know, still hoping to go play on in the next league somewhere. But, you know, I mean, literally we didn't have any depth and we got worn out because a lot of people.
All his offensive line.
Yeah, that's what you want to hear is your offensive line is redshirt.
We're all redshirt.
Yeah. Well, it was a tough year. It was for sure. But
all right, now let me ask you this, Ron. We really didn't want to. We did want to bring that up again, but because it's amazing and just the grit and the competitive spirit that you have. Of course, we all know that. I could tell you stories about Ron in church league basketball.
Yeah, let's don't do that.
Well, no, that was none of our best moments.
No, Ron was with me on some of mine too. I was with him. They were not good moments, but we wanted to, you know, people are so mad, Ron. I mean, it's like people are mad and they want to fire everybody. And it's his second year as the head coach and this staff. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think that we got to stay strong behind Joey and give him what he needs to do what he can do. And I think we got a good man at the helm, and we're getting better. I mean, we got better players right now than we did when he got here. Yep. And I think that's going to continue. I mean, the good recruiting that we're getting, you know, hopefully people that are committing to us that they're not the type that usually commit to us. And I think we're going to be fine. I mean, it's not an automatic thing. I mean, TCU turning it around like they did last year or whatever, that was amazing.
Yeah,
it's almost like divine intervention because every game they went into, they just barely won.
Yeah.
And then this year, you see the other side of it.
Yeah.
And to a certain extent, Tech's the same way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, last year we could have lost 2 or 3 games we won. This year we could have won 2 or 3 games we lost.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fine line, unless you're one of the blue bloods.
The chosen.
It sort of is the chosen. They have twice as much money as you and twice as much tradition.
I watched the first half. I went to bed afterwards because we've had 10 grandkids in our house for we've done Thanksgiving and Christmas the last 2-3 days, and I was exhausted and I couldn't take any more of the game. I didn't see the score till this morning and read that they scored with just like 20 seconds left. Is that right?
Yeah.
Put a little exclamation point on it.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Ron, also in the fourth quarter, you've never seen this, I bet. Barron throws a low pass. It bounces off Brooks' foot, off of his foot, and it bounces up in the air, and they intercept it and run it for a touchdown.
It was an unbelievable play.
I mean, it's just.
And there's a linebacker caught it.
Did they have a kickoff return?
Yeah, they had a kickoff return.
A block punt.
Yeah.
And a ball off the foot.
My God.
It was just the perfect storm for a whooping.
Yeah, and we got one. We got a whooping. And
we'll see if a little pride and come back and make a good showing in the bowl game and recruiting and just to get ready for next year. So
yeah.
And you know what? I don't think next year's guaranteed to be just a stellar year either because some of these guys have got to get some hair on their belly, and there's not much hair. We're losing a lot of our hair. A lot of those guys that are fully developed are leaving. So I don't think next year I'm not going to go, we're going to be 9-3 next year. I think we may be 7-5 or something. Yeah. And we're going to have to just say, hey, we're building.
Mm-hmm.
We're not competitive on either side of the line of scrimmage.
Bingo.
A lot of the teams we're playing, and those guys got to get the hair on their belly and have a little muscle tone that you can see. And that's just, we got to get better at every area, but that one is going to be notable next year because all of our defensive linemen that have been hanging around for 6 years playing,
they're gone.
And who's behind them?
Yeah.
Those people are, but I'm sure Joey knows that, and they're out today ringing some doorbells. So
today'd be a good day to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't y'all get beat last night? No, we won't talk about that.
Yeah.
That was ugly.
You come join us next year.
Well, yeah, I think a kid would look at that and go, hey,
Yeah,
I can start
these guys
there
are
4
serious.
years.
Yeah, you can be our star. That's what we're going to tell him.
Yep.
Anyway, that was it was tough to take. It really was, and people were so disappointed, and we had such high hopes, and that's been for the whole season. I kind of got into, Joey's a hype guy. He's a positive thinker. He's not a everything's bad. He's always the cup's half full, and that comes back to
Or
bite
the
you.
cup runneth over. He's one of those cup runneth over guys.
He is a cup runneth over.
Yeah.
And I love that. I mean, I'm for guys that are positive and excited about their players, but
you'd love to play for a guy like Coach McGuire.
you would. I can't imagine him coming into the home and parents meeting him and not being excited for their kids to come play here.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I'm glad you survived that Texas game so long ago, Ron.
Well, it's debatable. I don't know. I didn't very long after that.
Still got some Dane
I
Bramage.
took a beat here big time, but I wasn't smart enough to know that I was taking a beating, and I might not have tried to stay there so hard. I should have taken a few games off, but we didn't really have a whole lot behind me, and I felt committed. I mean, I'm a lifelong Red Raider.
Were you a senior that year?
Yeah, that was my senior year.
Okay. All right.
Got married in a wheelchair.
I was there. It's unbelievable.
Get my knee operated on Sunday morning after our Saturday game against Houston, and getting wheeled down the aisle in a wheelchair by my wife and carrying her bouquet on the way out of First Baptist Church. So
I was there. That was
a great ending to a great year.
Yeah.
Well, that was a wonderful rest of that story. But there's more to your story. Is you were 1-10, and the Canadian Football League saw something that they liked.
Yeah.
Well, I got drafted by the Oilers as well, and made it through camp until the starter stunk it up, and they traded for Archie Manning right that year. So I got put on waivers after that, and then I went to Canada and ended up playing about 4.5 seasons, not having to get a real job. So it was a lot of fun.
He's showing his age, isn't he?
Yeah.
Archie Manning, he said, and then Norm Van Brocklin got healthy.
And Paul Bear Brown was the head coach.
Hey, I'm that old guy that I remember the old guys talking. That's not even relevant to football today.
They don't even know. Yeah. Yeah. But you did play. He did play with Herschel Walker.
Yes, you did.
And he was on Donald Trump. You and Donald Trump are big buddies, aren't you?
Yeah. He still owes me $10,000. So I don't know if I'm ever going to get it, but
he does.
Well, you won't if you don't ask for it.
Yeah.
Should have got Coach Knight to get it for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
He would have asked him, I promise. Well, anyway, you had a great career, and that was one night in that career. But last night just reminded me, I thought of you during that game because Barron was running for his life and just trying to survive. I was afraid he was going to get hurt. I really was.
Well, I just hope next year when Barron's out there doing the opposite of what happened yesterday that you'll go, you know what? I remember that one night Ron Reeves came in on the field the first game.
Oh, that was so great, Ron.
Yeah.
Who was that against? Arizona or who?
Arizona, yeah.
And and the stands is just packed, and then they go, and the PA guys, now quarterback for the Red Raiders, number 12, Ron Reeves, and the place just went wild because you were
it was a magic night. It kind of all went downhill from there, but it was great starting out.
You won the game. We won the game, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Because of you.
Well, me and everyone else, but it was a lot of fun to be a part of.
I know it. That was so cool.
Who did you come in for?
Tress Adamy was a fifth-year senior, and he was a starter that year. And then there was a guy named Mark Johnson who was kind of more of a running quarterback than a throwing quarterback. So those two guys were both ahead of me. And that game, Tress got hit on the thigh. You get hit on the thigh, and you think your leg is broken in half. That's what happened to him. Then they put Mark Johnson in, and we were behind, and he wasn't throwing to the right team. And so they threw right before halftime. We went down and scored. I can't remember if we scored twice before halftime and took the lead or what, but it all happened so fast. But, I was able to start from there on the rest of my career until I had a few games I missed for injuries. But I really like Barron Morton. He's a hard worker. He's a great kid. He's a fierce competitor. And, he's having to do some things outside of what he would prefer to do because of his health and their protection. I mean, they got him moving in the pocket so much. If he could just sit back there and be a running threat and a in the pocket passer, I think we're going to be good.
Yeah. Rodney telling that story remind me, people have been mean for a long time. And we've been reading negative texts this morning, Ron. We usually don't do that because, but we do. We're doing it today. But Tress Adamy, they call him Tress a Dummy. And that was his name. Everywhere I went, he was Tress a Dummy.
Yeah,
and that was 50 years ago.
To being a dummy. He's a high-performing trial lawyer in the Central Texas area, class act all the way.
Is that right?
I mean, you can be in your fifth-year senior and you think you're going to get to start, and all of a sudden you go play USC, and we played them pretty good out there. I think we lost 17-9, and then he's in his second game and he gets hurt, and then a little freshman punk from Lubbock comes in and takes the job away. And I'm telling you, that guy, he was nothing but a fan. He was amazing.
Wow.
And I see him, I tell him that. And he just said, well,
he supported you. That's good.
And he knew there was bigger things in life than that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
what?
Right.
Ron, we appreciate you, buddy.
What's bigger?
All right. Well, I'm going to go back inside. I had to come out here on the back porch in my short sleeve shirt.
It's cold, isn't it, Ron?
Too loud. Well, it's loud inside with all those kids.
Oh, they're still there?
They're still there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're here till Monday.
Tell them to go home. All right, Ron. Thank you for doing this.
Ron Reeves, number 12.
See you, buddy. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks.
All right.
You've been listening to the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3. Catch the show live Saturday mornings from 9 to noon on Double T 97.3 FM or on the Double T 97.3 mobile app.